One of General Deathshead's lieutenants is keeping the folder mentioned in your mission briefing at her base of operations. This folder contains the location of Deathshead's compound. Could be our last chance, Blazkowicz.
I've got a plan. Break into the keep. Kill every Nazi in there.
How many goddamn Nazis are there in this world?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Twitch stage here at PAX East 2015. We're finally kicking off day one here, and joining me are Pete and Matt from Bethesda MachineGames. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Matt, how's it going over there? Guys, I'm really excited because we get to kick things off with something that was announced just this Wednesday, but now we get to see for the first time gameplay reveal. So thank you for coming on over and bringing it here to the Twitch audience and everyone at PAX.
Yeah, absolutely. We thought it'd be fun to bring it here and show it to everybody for the first time in your booth at a great event like PAX, and we're excited to show you guys what we're making.
So before we hop in, I mean, you know, Wolfenstein, and of course I go all the way back, right? I remember actually downloading my first demo of Wolfenstein on my 2400 baud modem, and this is one of those games, one of those IPs that just, it continues to live from generation to generation of gamer. And the most recent title that you guys released, especially for a lot of my friends, there was a lot of people who said, hey, this is on my Games of the Year list. Like, I just had so much unadulterated fun, and I think that's what people are just hoping they're going to get out of the Old Blood. So tell me a little bit about it. What is Wolfenstein the Old Blood?
The idea for the Old Blood was, rather than doing sort of traditional DLC for the game and little bits and bobs, talk to the guys at MachineGames about, well, what if we just take all the stuff that we were going to do it and throw it into one single standalone product that anybody can play. So you don't have to have played the New Order. Obviously, if you have, you're going to see references to stuff.
Sure,
you're going to see sort of how you got into the New Order. This game is a prequel, so it sort of sets up how BJ gets to the point where he's assaulting Deathshead's compound. Yeah, and it's a, you know, if you like the New Order and everything that it offered in terms of gameplay and sort of combining stealth and over-the-top action, this is a lot more of that.
Excellent. So, are we gonna? Do you want to set up kind of what we're gonna see in terms of what we got here in our first gameplay?
Yeah,
reveal?
we're gonna go through a couple areas today and a couple more areas tomorrow. Right now, we're early in the game. In the first half, there's actually two different stories in the content. This one is Rudi Jäger and the Den of Wolves. This is chapter 3, and we're right outside Castle Wolfenstein, trying to get in.
So this is the first time. Go ahead, yeah. Go ahead and get started. This is the first time that gameplay has been shown from the Old Blood, and feel free to hop in.
Don't die.
Let's go. Don't die.
Don't die.
All
Famous
right.
last words.
So here I'm at the docks. Got some guns. I got some Nazis. Dead Nazis. All right.
So, like, is there anything immediately that any fans of the New Order would notice, like, different? I know we saw in the initial trailer, obviously there's going to be some new weapons. There was maybe a tease to some additional customization. What can you tell us about that going into this?
Go ahead, Matt. As far as the new stuff, it's a sort of a combination of more of what you like and enjoyed about Wolfenstein, but with some new mechanics and stuff that make the game interesting. One of the things you saw in the trailer was this pipe mechanic that we added. So it's a combination of a new melee weapon. You see Matt wielding it here. That gives you some opportunities to take down some of the heavier super soldiers that you come up against.
But melee climbing.
But it also offers some traversal options. So how to use it.
Saw the climbing early on.
So it allows you to do some more sort of exploration of gameplay space and some different traversal elements that we didn't have in.
And we have some new guns as well. The bolt action rifle, which we'll see later. The Kampf pistol, which is really awesome. It's basically a pocket rocket launcher. We also have a new shotgun in the game.
Anytime you can have a pocket rocket launcher, that's a good thing.
And obviously for folks who, like yourself, who played the old Wolfenstein games, it's one of those things where you don't have to have played any of those, just like you don't have to play the New Order, but there's lots of little nods and stuff that, you know, if you're a fan of the franchise, you've been playing this now for 20 years or whatever, you're gonna get a lot of sort of that nostalgic effect out of this and getting to stomp around Castle Wolfenstein again.
And I mean, I really know that gamers appreciate that, whether they are being, you know, brought into the new era and playing these games, or they came from the old school. You know, having those little throwbacks and Easter eggs, always.
So you can see here, Matt's taken out one of the two guys that can call in extra reinforcements, and you can see it's giving him a notification.
Getting hairy.
Yeah.
I did mention don't die,
man.
right?
Don't throw grenades at yourself either. So yeah, I tried to go stealthy first, and I thought I was going to make it, and
not so much.
Things didn't go well, so there we go.
And just like the other game, you have the option to do that. If you want to play a little stealthy, that's not me. That's not necessarily my style.
Certainly there's parts where combat is unavoidable. Like you're not just going to tiptoe your way quietly through the whole thing. But there's definitely opportunities where you can decide to go more stealthy or more combat, and depending on how you do that, you know, if you just want to go in guns blazing, you can.
With a minigun.
You're also going to end up fighting a lot more guys.
Right.
They're gonna call in a lot more reinforcements and make it a lot tougher to deal with.
So looks like I got out of that okay.
You did make it through.
Glide.
The one guy in the area is like, nope, I have a single job.
One of the things to point out is while the New Order starts kind of pre-World War II when you're assaulting Deathshead compound, the majority of the game takes place in the 1960s.
Right.
The old one takes place in the past. So this is all sort of World War II era where the war is still going on with the Nazis, and BJ is trying to help keep the Nazis from winning the war. So a lot of what you see is going to be a little bit more retro technology. You're going to see kind of older versions of the Panzerhunds and the original versions of some of the super soldier technology. It's a little more sort of archaic compared to the New Order, but it's because this is when the Nazis were first starting to experiment with some of this technology. So your weapons and tech are going to reflect that.
And it's always like interesting from a design perspective, right? When you go back and you're dealing with weapons and or technology that maybe haven't been introduced to the story yet, or like you mentioned, like the timeline doesn't fit. So is that challenging, or is it kind of fun to go, okay, how are we going to tackle this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think it offers a lot of flexibility. That you know, the designers are like anybody else. Like, you don't want to just keep doing the same thing over and over again. And so switching to a different era like this does give you some options. You can see here Matt using the traversal aspect we talked about, so he can kind of hold himself up with one arm as he's climbed up with the pipes, and then, you know, again, we're talking about stealth versus combat. Use a silence pistol to take out the guard. But yeah, it does offer, you know, designers and the team a chance to explore some new stuff and not kind of just do the same thing, same period over and over again. What would this have looked like for the Nazis back then?
Get a little creative with it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, plus you get to do cool new kill animation.
Pipe down.
Also, kind of a staple of the Wolfenstein series is sort of like the secrets and the things that you find throughout the levels. I assume that we have plenty of those littered throughout.
Certainly plenty of that, again, where you're going to, as you're moving through, there's going to be unlockables that you can find, and you get bonuses. Grenade in the skull.
Yes.
Bonuses for finding and collecting all of that stuff. But again, that's purely optional. It's kind of up to folks. If you want to just go through and run and gun and have a good time, it's going to offer you hours of that. And if you want to go exploring and find all the other stuff, that's an option as well.
Pete, what do you? Which bucket do you fall into?
I'm a run and gun guy.
Okay, I am too.
There's times where I use stealth, mostly when I know it's an area where if they start calling in reinforcements, I'm really going to be in trouble. So I tend to be stealthy until I take out the 2 guys that call in the reinforcements, and when you take out the commanders, then I know I can start running and gun and not have to worry about dealing with a lot of extra enemies.
So this is the new bolt action rifle, and I've got the attachable scope right here. Pretty awesome. Needs a little time to reload, but definitely powerful.
And obviously, as Matt's showing here, cover is still an important thing in Wolfenstein, something that I think folks got used to the more they played through the New Order, that standing out in the open, not always the best idea, so leaning from behind cover, above it, below it, from the side, definitely important, as Matt's showing here, and it is an option with any weapon that you're using, whether you've got a scope or not, that you can use that to your advantage and not take a ton of damage while you're taking guys out.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed even the cover system's incorporated into like the new, like the climbing and whatnot. When he got to the top, there was that prompt to also be able to lean.
Yep.
I guess we'll see it right here, right?
Yeah, you're able to do that. I think there's a guy up here. Maybe, we'll see. But yeah, you can kind of go in any direction you want to use cover, and there's nobody there. So that's okay. Hey, buddy.
Surprise.
So we were in the catacombs. If you noticed, we fell through. It looks like I'm getting my way back to where I wanted to be.
And just for those that are joining us, we are seeing the first shown gameplay here of the Old Blood, Wolfenstein the Old Blood, and this was announced on Wednesday. And this is the first time that we've ever had a chance to check this out. So it's coming out in May, right?
Yep, May 5th. It is going to be for PC, Xbox One, and PS4, so just next gen. Allowed the team to, honestly, to focus a lot more on what they were doing and not have to support as many platforms, which takes away a lot of dev time.
Is 5 platforms hard to do?
It turns out it is.
Really? No.
Having done that twice last year with Wolf and The Evil Within, we can tell you shipping on 5 platforms simultaneously is a ton of work.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Boom.
It's a nice grenade. So you guys, and I'd love to maybe talk a little bit more about that grenade. You know, the concept of, you know, like the standalone versus DLC models. Because also, as the designer, publishers, you know, these are decisions you have to make, and also depending on sort of the needs and demands of your audiences as well. So can you talk to us a little bit about taking this route?
Yeah, I mean, I think the idea came from a couple of routes. Number one was it allowed us to act, sort of do it all in one thing, that trying to split stuff up meant every time you do one of those DLCs, each one of them is a separate certification process. It's a separate process of wrapping it up, getting everything done, and then you move on to the next one and you have to do it all over again. You wrap all of that stuff together, that's just that many fewer times that you're having to worry about how does all this play together and what problems do you have. We felt like we were able to do it in a pretty quick period of time.
Sure.
And that was certainly an advantage. If we were doing this and it wasn't coming out until November, it probably would have been less likely, but you know, the team worked pretty hard on putting something together that was both substantial, but that we could do in a quick period of time. And then obviously, you know, it's not something we've done a lot in the past with a digital-only release, or being able to put it out digitally first, and that was appealing to us.
Right.
To have, you know, a low barrier of entry that's only $20, that you don't have to play the previous game. So if you were interested in Wolfenstein, but you know, didn't get it for your console or your PC, that we had something that was a little lower cost. That, you know, you come in, you get a, you know, what we think is a pretty substantial amount of gameplay, and it's $20. And you know, the reaction from the fans on Wednesday was pretty super positive. I mean, we obviously haven't done this kind of thing, but you've seen it done with other games. I think Far Cry saw a lot of success with Blood Dragon.
Right.
Folks like myself, I had a lot of fun with that. So we felt like it was a good fit for what we were trying to do, and we wanted to give it a try and see what folks thought. So we'll see how it goes, and they really like it. Maybe we can do more of this down the road.
That's great. No, it's definitely a model that I'm a big fan of. You know, in this day and age, like you said, you know, also the days of cloud and digital downloads, like it's getting more and more prominent in the gaming world. So not necessarily having to have one piece of software in order to continue to enjoy the experience, I think, is also
well. And part of it for us is it depends on what that content is. In the case of Evil Within, you know, we are doing DLC. We did just do DLC, and it's coming out next week, and it made a lot more sense to have it fit as part of it, and honestly, it was a lot more difficult to have that be standalone. In the case of Wolfenstein, it's just different than a game like Skyrim, for example, where you're playing, and then you're adding content into your existing game. This was going to be a standalone experience anyway, so you know, it doesn't fit every situation, but it seemed to fit this one. You were asking before about collectibles. Matt just found some of the
deep sea diving.
Water. Yeah, so we think it's a good way to introduce it to both a new audience and again, for folks like yourself who really loved Wolfenstein last year, and we sure appreciate everybody who bought it and played it and supported MachineGames and Bethesda. A way to give them something new to play that kind of fits what they liked, but new and different.
So tell me a little bit about just being able to write and create a story around this character, right? Like BJ is actually... He has a lot of clout in the gaming world just because of who he is as a character. So I imagine it's got to be a lot of fun to be able to take control of him.
One of the interesting things when we did the original Wolfenstein: The New Order was it turns out, even though this is a franchise that's been around for a while, that BJ himself didn't have much of a personality.
Right.
He was just sort of a big-necked guy who shot Nazis.
Right.
And I think one of the things that the New Order, and rightfully so, got recognized for was adding a lot of character and story and narrative and giving him some context and you know, making the choices that he was making meaningful and kind of understanding that, yeah, he kills Nazis, but it's really this guy who just wants to get back to having a normal life and a family, and the only way he can do it is to stop the guys who are trying to take over the world. So I think it was really fun and interesting for them to do that, to be able to kind of put a new direction on where this franchise is going to go going forward. That, you know, the action and the fun that you know, we're showing here is obviously a big part of it. That it turns out that shooting, strangling, stabbing Nazis is still pretty fun. But adding more character and story to that experience can be meaningful. And I think it was great to see the reaction people had to all of that, to BJ and Anya and the other folks that we had in the New Order. And you know, looking forward to the team being able to explore that going forward, because, you know, I think we did find at the end of the day that, you know, Wolfenstein does have a place. It is relevant. I think the MachineGames guys did a great job in bringing it back to relevance, and, you know, we're looking forward to down the road post this to seeing where those guys go, where this franchise goes next.
So I have to ask a question because I haven't seen anything about it yet, but at the end of the trailer that opened up the segment, we have that part at the end where there's a shotgun and he picks up the hacksaw and he proceeds to make some modifications. Can you give us any additional information on that, or will we see anything here, or tell me?
Well, certainly if we put it in the trailer, there's got to be something going on there. We wouldn't ever show you something like, that wasn't in the game.
Ultimate tease.
I will tell you this. We're not talking a whole lot about that yet, but I will tell you that there's a bit more of kind of the occult in the Old Blood than there was in the New Order.
Okay.
A bit of a nod to some of the previous games, like Castle Wolfenstein, where there was some more kind of occultish stuff going up, and bodies falling through the ceiling and then being on fire and getting back up again. Something's obviously going on there, but what's going on and what BJ is going to have to deal with, we'll probably hold off talking about it a little bit. But you won't have to wait long.
No, not at all.
Be here before you know it.
Not at all. Okay,
and
that was a good tease. That was good. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
So I think we're going to jump ahead to another part.
Okay.
So let me just...
That's fine. So if you just joined, this is the first time that you're ever seeing footage here of the Old Blood, Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. It's coming out on May 5th, 2015. Be available digitally on
Xbox Live, PSN, Steam, all your standard digital places. Yeah, we're really excited to get it out, folks. It is Xbox One, PC, and PS4, so we're not doing it on 360 and PS3. That was a conscious decision to try and focus our time and attention and resources on getting it done more
Sure.
quickly and getting it out to to as many folks as possible, and kind of having it be the same game and not worrying about last gen and this gen. Yeah, we're super excited. We're really close. What you're seeing here is obviously still in development, but we are pretty close to being done and wrapped, and excited to get it to folks. $20, not asking for a lot to jump in, and you don't need the previous game.
For a self-contained gaming experience, that's really fantastic. All right, so Matt, tell us a little bit more about like where we've jumped ahead to here.
Okay, so I got the door open to get into Castle Wolfenstein, and now we skipped all that. So now we've jumped ahead to I need to get the hell out of Castle Wolfenstein. So I am making my escape plan right now. Pull this lever.
Matt, I saw it too. You ended just by the skin of your teeth. There's a couple times you were down to that 2-3 health. I noticed.
It was a little rough, yeah. So hopefully I can survive here. A little pro tip: if you see a hole in the door, might mean there's somebody waiting for you. Just shoot them. So that's that. Cover mechanic. Usually I got to run like hell right here. Did I get him with the throwing star? I think I just called the knife a throwing star.
So Matt, what's your favorite weapon?
I'm really liking the bolt action rifle when I've got the scope on. Shotguns are always fun, and 2 shotguns are even more fun.
And the comp pistol, being able to shoot grenade rocket things from your little.
Yeah, that was like the pocket rocket launcher.
Yep.
I saw that in the previous run.
Because grenades can be pretty difficult to find. We don't put a ton of them in the level, so having not only grenades that you can throw, but also having a weapon that shoots them as well is a pretty handy one too. When you've got groups of enemies, and you'll find quite a bit in this game. You're dealing with groups of enemies.
Oh. All right, this is getting hairy. I'm getting out of here.
Pull the lever. So Matt's making his way onto this cable car that's going to help him get out of Wolfenstein. You saw snippets of that as well in the trailer, and the guys did some really great stuff, both visually and from a gameplay standpoint.
Yeah, I'm not dealing with him right now. Too much. Peace out, Cub Scout.
There you go.
So, scenic journey. There we are.
Well, I'm sure it'll be a very quiet ride.
Yeah, from here, really, honestly, the rest of this level is like a really pleasant hour and a half just ride on a cable car where nothing actually happens.
Have a cigar, just relax.
The true Alp simulator here.
It's like the version of Die Hard where the terrorist forgot to show up at the hotel. Just hanging out, talking to his ex-wife.
It's just a Christmas party. That's it, guys. Almost at it.
So, yeah.
The rival cable car.
It's the West Side Story of Wolfenstein.
Fierce competition.
So he dropped a grenade. That's helpful for me. There we go.
Or he's been taking grenade throwing lessons from you and just throwing them at himself.
Hey.
There was that questionable grenade toss early on, but I thought Matt could have just said, well, in case they came at me, I threw sort of a defensive grenade, if you will. But
in truth, we know that's not what he was actually doing.
Of course.
Go. Did we get them all? No. Hello.
There's quite a few baddies on that guy.
Yeah, we were talking before about stealth versus combat and opportunities to do that. You're not stealthing your way out of this.
Exactly.
This is obviously one of those opportunities where the Nazis have to die, and you're gonna have to fight your way out.
Yeah, if you duck down, they're not just gonna go away.
Here's another example of being able to use your pipe for opportunities.
Oh, okay.
Melee.
And I mean, I have to say, like, you know, similar to the New Order, the game looks to be some unforgiving parts. Like, we're not dealing with enemies that have terrible aim. They're gonna hit you. It seems like even if you are gonna be running gunning, you still have to like be smart about it.
It's definitely challenging for sure. We can neither confirm nor deny that Matt is getting any additional artificial help on this level. Keep him from dying repeatedly. We'll put it down to his unbelievable skill.
I'm skilled
in shooters. But yeah, it's definitely a tough game.
Look at that! Look at that! Come on.
It's definitely a game that is challenging, and certainly on the, as with the New Order, on the tougher difficulty.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
It can really be a challenge, particularly when you're dealing with some of these big heavies like this guy here. They are not easy to take down.
Yeah, that was actually one of the things I really enjoyed about the New Order. So that's what I'm looking forward to in the Old Blood, because I feel like it has that same feeling of challenge. Like, there's not going to be much hand-holding here.
Yeah, and we don't want it to be too one note where it's always the same. So the way that challenge comes across and the different types of combat challenges you have to deal with will vary from time to time. That's probably not a good sign.
Down.
You may recognize those are the fighters that you end up facing in the early part.
Right.
BJ's assaulting Deathshead's compound.
Everybody's got drones.
Oh, these damn things. I swear to God. The number of times those things managed to kill me in the New Order.
Attacks from above, side.
Yeah, this is.
And drones.
This is a lot right here.
This is chaos.
One drone down.
Gotta shoot him in the leg. Their shooting right now is not very good, though. It's like a old G.I. Joe cartoon. They're all going past me right now.
They are a bit far. Accuracy, length is not fantastic.
Got them all. But that didn't go well.
Uh-oh.
Brudskis.
And will he survive? We don't know. Tune in in May.
May 5th, right?
Yeah.
May 5th, 2015. Guys, thanks so much for stopping by and showing us. The official announcement was Wednesday, but we got a chance to see the first revealed gameplay right here from PAX East. Is there anything else that you want to tell the fans out there, or maybe new fans that are going to be picking this up in May?
We're really excited about what we've got, and we think folks are going to have a ton of fun with it. And we'll be back here tomorrow morning with you guys, same time, to show you a little bit more.
Areas.
Yeah, and show you some new stuff. So
awesome.
If you missed today or tuned in late, tune in tomorrow 10:30 East, and we'll be back here again and show you some new stuff.
Excellent.
Thanks
Pete, thank you very much. Matt, thank you so much. Guys, we've got more coming at you live from the Twitch booth at PAX East 2015. This has been Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. It comes out on May 5th, 2015. We're going to have more tomorrow, so make sure you tune in. Otherwise, we've got a ton of content coming at you, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to PAX East 2015. Can you feel the hype in the air?
Yes.
From the side stage, not so much.
Hype.
Yeah.
It's still too cold to be hyped yet.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a bit early for day 2 of PAX East 2015. I am joined here with Pete and Matt from Bethesda, and we are here to talk about some Wolfenstein: The Old Blood.
New game, Old Blood.
That's right.
Here we go. We're going to jump right in.
Just announced this week.
Oh, yes. Sounds great. Yeah, and we're going to jump right into gameplay, I do believe.
Yeah, so this game is a throwback to some of the stuff you would have recognized from Return to Castle Wolfenstein. As BJ Blazkowicz in 1946, you are going to figure out where General Deathshead is, and on the way you get imprisoned, and this is your escape.
Sweet. Here we go. I think we're jumping in now. There we go. And that.
So as we said, this is something we announced this week. It's a prequel to the New Order that we launched last year.
Ooh, the pipe in the head. I love it already.
We've got a piper down.
So this section, as Matt said, escaping a prison, is going to be a little bit more stealth gameplay. Yesterday, when we were on with you guys, showed quite a bit of the action, so we wanted to show you a little bit of the diversity. This is a game you can kind of play as you see fit, so if Matt wanted to go in guns blazing here, he could. But
beautiful.
Being stealthy draws less attention, less likely to bring reinforcements in.
I love seeing that you can peek out from around corners like that.
Yeah. We'll see how long I stick with the stealth thing once things go south.
That's my thing. It's like
in the face.
I love being stealthy, but at one point you just got to go Rambo.
But this is a standalone DLC sequel thing that we put together. Rather than having it require the original game, we wanted to create something that whether you bought the game last year or not,
very cool.
For $20, PC, Xbox One, PS4, you can jump in and have a lot of fun playing Wolf, shooting Nazis.
That is
retreat.
Yeah, and there goes the stealth aspect. It's already gone.
Yeah, that sort of went to hell in a handbasket quickly.
Yeah. See, and BJ Blazkowicz, is he? You know, he's got to be blasting. I love the idea that it is a standalone DLC. It doesn't require the New Order. Now, in terms of the story, oh my God, you can do that. You got this.
You can do it, Coach.
There you go.
No.
Maxed out. There we go. Oh yeah. Shoot those Nazis dead. Okay, beautiful.
All right, regroup.
So as far as the story, obviously the New Order takes place largely in the 1960s. You start the game kind of in the past, but you end up playing most of the game is about what happens after the Nazis win the war. The Old Blood takes place while the war is still going on. It is a prequel to the New Order, and it sort of leads up to the moments right when the New Order starts. So it's about finding out where Deathshead's compound is, assaulting Castle Wolfenstein and trying to get that information, and as Matt said, trying to get the hell out. It's actually broken up into two chapters that work together. Each has its kind of own little story arc and own bad guy that you're dealing with, and we're again here in the first part.
Very cool.
Dealing with Rudi Jäger and
the Den of Wolves.
The Den of Wolves in the Castle Wolfenstein.
Badass.
And if you're familiar with Wolfenstein, any of the early Wolfenstein games, there's lots of little nods, obviously, locations you'll recognize from early games.
It's so beautiful, which I did. Wolfenstein, one of my favorite memories growing up, just really quick in my old tech ed class, like, it was a reward that you could go into the computer lab and play Wolfenstein if you were done with your
nice
your projects. So my projects were always rushed and crappy because I was like, I got to get on that Wolfenstein.
Do whatever you had to check that box
exactly.
And get back to playing, right?
Yeah. Very cool. I love that, like you said, contains lots of nods to the original.
Right, and it obviously offers a variety of different types of enemies, tech, weapons, because again, this is sort of in the early days of the Nazis taking advantage of the technology that they've found and are using. So when you see super soldiers, it's the earlier versions than the ones you see during the New Order. There's Panzerhunds, but they're actual armored dogs as opposed to big robot dogs that would have developed later in the 1960s. So it's a little bit more old school, some different weapons.
Very cool. I love, like you said, like how you can see the transition there.
Yep. The pipe is a new thing. You saw Matt take out a guy early on with the pipe. It's not just a melee weapon, but it's also useful for traversal. There's a variety of different places throughout the game and throughout the levels where you'll find the opportunity to use the pipe to access areas you wouldn't otherwise be able to access. So it sort of serves a dual role and opens up the gameplay a little bit more as a result.
Very cool. Like
good job not dying so far, man.
Pretty good no stealth gameplay.
I was gonna say, like, now are you like at some point are you gonna be able to just kind of like creep into the shadows and let things kind of?
Well, so right now there is still one officer out.
You can see the broadcasting alarm up in the top right, so we sort of let you know where the commanders are that you have to sort of shut down for them to stop calling in reinforcements.
Okay.
So Matt's biggest problem right now is he's got
is I haven't found that guy. And here he is.
There he is.
In the face. In the leg.
There you go.
You're done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Feel nothing. They're Nazis. It's fine. It's totally fine.
And it is a game that allows you to do sort of stealth or combat as you see fit, but there's obviously times where combat is going to be your only option. It's not a game you can stealth all the way through
Absolutely.
Start to finish, but it does play out pretty differently depending on those moments that you choose to use stealth and sneak around guys, find secret passages to get to areas you wouldn't otherwise be able to get to.
And then there's times for the comp pistol, which is a little pistol-like rocket launcher that just...
Wow.
Toast. You're
Love
toast,
that.
too.
This is one of the new...
Oh! Vaporized him. Wow. The blood vapor. Wow.
This is my redemption.
I'm loving it. See, this is my style of game, like the gameplay. Like in this game, I admire that. Like you can go in, like
it lacks subtlety.
Yeah, well, no, like you said, like you could go in, creep around and get some stealth kills in there, but probably these guns are just too good to not just go in blazing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at this.
Grenade.
Look at Rambo style. Beautiful. Now, when can we expect to play the Old Blood?
It's coming out May 5th, so it's right around the corner.
Cool.
And obviously happy to be showing gameplay for the first time here on Twitch yesterday and today, and probably do a few more of these on our own Twitch stream between now and launch. But yeah, we wanted to do something where we could get it out a little quicker to the most folks possible, and do it in a way where you didn't have to play the previous game. Although, as you said, Wolfenstein, the New Order, really thrilled how many people played it, how much they liked it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was a nice reboot for the franchise. Where Wolfenstein, it had gotten a little long in the tooth, and the MachineGames guys, all credit to them, taking something that they loved and that is kind of beloved and iconic in the industry, and rebooting it, bringing a lot of character and story. And
absolutely. I mean, when you want to talk about first-person shooters, I mean, Wolfenstein, I believe, basically wrote the book. Yeah, the pattern familius of the whole genre, and it's great to see that Wolfenstein games still being made, and really with like such great emphasis on like the action.
Yeah. Hello to our watchers in Sweden at MachineGames. Hope you're enjoying.
Now, when you said that you were going to be streaming some gameplay, for, like now, before the release in May.
Yeah.
Was that on a particular Twitch channel? You want to give a?
Yeah, that's twitch.tv Bethesda. We're actually on Monday afternoon. We're streaming the first look at the Evil Within DLC, The Assignment, as well.
Very cool.
Which comes out
Tuesday.
Right. So
sweet.
We usually we try and stream once every week, once every other week, and give folks a chance to see either old stuff that we have done. Matt did a playthrough of some of the Dark Brotherhood stuff in Skyrim the other week.
Oh wow.
Or new stuff like Wolf and Evil Within DLC.
I just love it. I mean, I've been broadcasting on Twitch for quite a while, and it's so crazy now seeing companies like Bethesda and just guys making use of the platform just to get gameplay footage out there, communicate with the fans directly, and
yeah, it's a lot of fun to be able to talk about something and then not have to sort of spend a lot of time explaining, like, well, the game's like this, or oh well, we have this new cool like grenade launching pistol, like to be able to take it right to the fans and say, yeah, here it is. Here's Matt blowing people up with it
exactly
over and over again.
Yeah, so we're gonna in a second here, just loading it up. We're gonna jump ahead to another area. Yesterday, if you tuned in, you saw me at the docks of Castle Wolfenstein. This is going to take place just about right after you get inside. Just give me a second, and
loading it up now.
Be ready to go.
See it. Looks beautiful. Oh.
Okay, so we're ready to go.
Gameplay footage ready.
And this is another situation where I can start off and try to be stealthy, Matt, and we saw how it went last time. So
about 15 seconds with stealth.
This might be 5 seconds.
Okay, in the rafters. I love it.
Up in the rafters. I'm here in the kitchen. Got some new baddies down there with their 1946 awesome shotgun.
Beautiful. Look at that fireplace.
It's beautiful.
It is. The game is. It's a beautiful game.
So I want to get over to that grate there to get through. Which
by the way, standing in one place on the thing does not count as being stealthy for longer than 15 seconds. You actually have to move somewhere.
This is man.
So it all comes down to this: can I make the jump? Because if I don't, I'm screwed.
Oh boy. Stealth is. Oh, look at that.
20 seconds.
That
was it. That was it.
There you go. That's fine.
Get out of there.
It was inevitable.
All right.
One jump.
We're just gonna. There's a lot of guys in here, and we don't want to deal with them. So.
Taking flak from behind.
Right now, there's a bunch of guys in Sweden at MachineGames all shaking their heads in embarrassment and shame.
Like,
Matt.
They're already typing up the email to Matt. I can't believe you did this. And
yeah.
Oh, of course. I mean, the main character's name isn't BJ Sneakowitz.
Yeah.
Blazkowicz. Okay. There you go.
You got more Nazis to go after.
Pipe. I love the pipe. It's like game of Clue in here.
And much like in the New Order, one of the fun things is there's lots of little secrets that you'll find all throughout the level, collectible items as you're going through that we kind of encourage exploration, not only as a way to get through the level, avoid combat situations. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
Sorry, puppy.
No animals were harmed in the making of this game.
Yes. It's fantasy league.
But there's lots of collectibles that you'll see spread around the game.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now that guy, I don't feel anything at all for that guy. Nazis, it's perfect.
The least sympathetic bad guys probably in the history of video games.
That's why it's so fun shooting Nazis.
Oh, throwing a knife's not going to do it. But perhaps using the pipe will.
There you go. Now, this...
If you ever want to see a good video, watch Eastern Michigan Sledgehammer. It is the funniest video. These guys trying to knock bricks down.
And I like what you're saying, where you really try and get more exploration in there, because, like you say,
again, it's one of the things I think that MachineGames did such a good job on in revitalizing Wolfenstein. Not just making BJ an actual character and getting to know him and Anya as you play through the New Order and sort of telling their stories as you go through, but also introducing that variety of gameplay, something that the guys at MachineGames are pretty well known for in previous games they made, like the Darkness Chronicles of Riddick, where they try and mix different types of gameplay, something folks really seem to enjoy in the New Order, and they continue to try and introduce those elements in the Old Blood. Although, again, admittedly, a lot of it is when you just get to have a big gun and you're blasting guys.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
There's no substitute.
Can't tell you how happy it's making me.
Oh, hello.
Vaporize these enemies. Oh, maxed out, beautiful. With the reload animations. Do you know about how long the content?
It's a good question. We're always a little hesitant to give out numbers because inevitably somebody does it faster than we say. Yeah. Maddie, you just played through the whole thing and took how long?
About 8 hours.
Oh wow, 8 hours. So 6 to 8 has kind of been our ballpark.
Yeah.
Took Matt 8. If you're playing on an easier mode and you're blowing right through and you don't spend time to explore, find collectibles, you might get done faster than 6. But
who does that? Really? Who does that?
But
shame on you.
For $20, it's a pretty hefty. Again, Matt, the knife's not working so much in the break.
Yeah.
Try the pipe. There you
go.
There
it is.
For $20, it's a pretty hefty chunk. Broke it up into these 2 stories, and there is a kind of nice change of pace between the first one and the second one. We do a little bit more with the occult aspects of Wolfenstein, which you saw earlier in some of the earlier Wolfenstein games. Wasn't really a part of the New Order, but because this is set in the past, we play with that a little bit. You see a hint at that in the teaser trailer right at the end with the fiery thing that drops out of the roof and then seems to be getting up and coming at you.
Yeah.
Looking forward to telling folks. Wouldn't be a Twitch stream without Matt throwing a grenade at himself.
Exactly.
So we ticked that box as well.
Grenade out. Oh, God.
Oh.
And I think, just with the question about the length of the game overall, I think it's not said enough that a lot of focus is always spent, thinking of quantity, but it's really the quality of those hours. To me, it's I am perfectly happy playing a shorter game if my time spent playing it is if I had a good time.
Meaningful, yeah. That's a big belief of ours as well. That and it's tough when as a publisher we make games like Skyrim where the number of hours is insane.
Exactly.
People still playing it. People still playing Morrowind and Oblivion. So it's gonna kind of be hard to make anything that compares to that.
Sorry about your legs.
Sorry, I just blew the leg up and then the body just went bouncing down the stairs. Oh, I love it. It's beautiful. Oh. Love those effects.
I kind of feel like this is like a Tarantino scene ready to happen.
Yeah. The book's getting shredded. Oh.
Yeah, we got the neck.
Knife in the neck, yes. I gotta say, love it. Oh, wow. Leg gone. Goodbye. You get into some serious stuff here. And I love the environments, like you said, the more occult aspect of it. It's very
Yeah, if you're a fan at all of Wolf, getting to stomp around in Castle Wolfenstein again is it's a pretty great nostalgic opportunity. And if you haven't, we're trying to demonstrate that maybe you should want to.
Get in on this.
Yeah,
exactly.
Alarms. Matt's still got 2 commanders who were setting off alarms that he's going to have to deal with at some point.
I just want to say, so far, you have been doing amazing. Yes, usually during these segments, The people promoting the game will, you know, oh god. Oh, okay, that's good. I thought I jinxed you for a second.
It should be noted, by the way, that Matt and I basically had to run walk about a mile to get here roughly 2 minutes before this started. So
oh yeah, oh, so he's
Matt
out of breath.
Yeah, it was like an endurance. It's like the you know, ski and then shoot a sniper rifle. Like you had to book it because traffic was so horrible. And
like gaming, decathlon going.
Catching his breath and then actually performing well in a shooter is a tall order.
Oh, slice!
Performing well.
Oh my god.
Or not.
Yeah, I know. See, and then of course, now that I said it, it's like, here we go.
I'm trying to give you some credit there, Matt, but I think you're used up all of your...
I'm struggling, I would say.
That's all right. BJ's still kicking. Running around. Okay, here we go. We got 2 alarms going off. Wow, just taking them out. Oh, I love it.
There you are.
There's one. Oh. Still there.
Oh, slice!
And there's the other one.
Out. Oh.
They both came to you. They were so sick of waiting for you to come find them. They just came found you.
They did.
Tough crowd. All right.
And now we're back in stealth mode. If we want to go that route.
After he's run around loudly killing everybody, now he's back to being quiet again.
And there's the use of that pipe, like I said. I love
Yep.
it. Love the multi use of it.
So that's that area.
Beautiful.
Did all right?
That is my kind of game, honestly. I see, like I was telling you before, the New Order was one that actually kind of slipped through the cracks on my cast, but I love action. I love those kind of games like that. Just
well, and that's the thing about the Old Blood is if you played the New Order, thank you. We appreciate you supporting MachineGames and us, and we hope you're one of the many folks that enjoyed it. But if not, and you want to dip your toe in the water and see what Wolfenstein is like, $20 for a pretty hefty chunk of gameplay, and it's a lot of fun. We've been having a lot of fun playing it. I think folks are really going to enjoy it when it comes out in May. And you like that enough, maybe you decide to go back and try the New Order. And it doesn't matter which order you played in. You don't have to have played this game, the previous game, to enjoy the prequel. It all kind of stands on its own and makes sense.
It's true. I love that idea too. That like it leads up, and you know, you can see, you know, what happened before the beginning of the game in the New Order.
Either way you play them, you get the context of having experienced the other one. So
no Jar Jar.
No Jar Jar.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Those prequels, they can be pretty hit or miss. But yeah, is there like in terms of like content for the game? Just really quick, like are there? Because I didn't play the New Order,
sure.
But are there like new weapons that we saw here?
Yeah, we showed a couple of them. The bolt action rifle is the one slower reload. You can get a scope on that. That's great. We have a new shotgun in the game, and that little pocket grenade launcher, the comp pistol, packs a lot of punch.
And then the pipe, which you're using both as in a variety of different ways. It's kind of a multi-purpose tool, but you're also obviously got to see some of the cool new melee kills that we've added in for that as well.
The prerequisite is typically throwing a knife before using the pipe, but
yes, you just gotta like test the wall. You're like searching for the weak point is what you're doing there. Very cool.
Yeah, then you know, new enemies, new locations, bunch of new stuff to see and do and play, and really looking forward to folks getting to play it here. May 5th, not that far away.
May 5th. Oh, and I was going to say, like, what platforms all can we?
Xbox One, PS4, and PC. So wherever you buy games digitally, it'll be out May 5th.
It's going to be available then?
Yeah.
Awesome. Pete, Matt.
Cool.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks so much for joining me. We're going to take a quick break as we get ready to switch over to the other stage. More awesome gaming content coming to you live from PAX East 2015. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.